we stay informed and true. Navigating the rules together to keep our freedom.
Hey guys, it's Joel with COREware. Welcome to episode 8 of Compliance Corner. And thankfully, this one's getting to you on time because someone made sure that someone else was here to record it. So you're welcome for that, Tony.
Hey, you're good. You're good at some things, so I got to capitalize on that.
Yeah. Hey, so let me ask you something, Tony.
Yeah.
It's been so long since we last recorded.
So long.
What have you been up to?
Pretty much the same stuff. Just sitting here reading case law, reading court rulings, talking with people, trying to figure out where we're at in the state of things.
Hey, some crazy things have happened over the past week or so, though. I'll be honest with you. Actually,
yeah?
It's probably the past couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I meet up with some guys over the weekends and run some people over online. And he told me, one of them told me, I'm sorry. One of them told me, he's like, yeah, we had I heard an explosion the other night. And I'm like, what? What happened? He said, yeah, a meteor hit. And this was in North Carolina. So a meteor hit in North Carolina. It shook the dude's house, right? And evidently it hit 15 miles away.
Mhm.
A week or two later, I see a notice that a meteor is going to impact east of the Philippines. And I'm like, what the heck? And then that same week, I saw another from the International Space Station. They were, you know how they do the time lapses or they'll
Right.
video so long. Dude, there was this massive flash and everybody's like, what the heck was that? Dude, I think we're getting bombarded by space junk. It's like the aliens are out there just chunking stuff at us. They're like, we're waiting for the end season of Earth. The last
Right.
season of Earth is playing right now. So it's been
Something like that.
crazy.
Yeah. So apparently the rest of the galaxy has gotten sick of us, is what you're saying. And
They're doing drive-bys. They're drive-bying the Earth, man. It's like, golly, please leave us alone. We'll
right.
get our stuff together eventually.
Yeah, we're well plenty capable of screwing this up on our own without you throwing shit at us.
Just enjoy the show, right?
Right.
You don't have to. Don't speed it up because you're going to
Yeah.
miss this after this last season.
Exactly.
So anyway, that's enough. That's enough banter, I guess. Tony, what are you going to teach us today, or what are you going to highlight for us today in the world of compliance?
So I'm gonna keep on looking at the Manage 4473 page here. If you wouldn't mind sharing that
Okay.
screen up there for me.
I think we should. Yeah, this was last week, right?
Yeah. So we're just continuing on. And a couple of settings I want to point out here, and kind of some recommended ways to use them. Because some of the questions we get here is we see we've got 4473s in the screen. Some are all redded out. One's kind of blacked out with the NA tab. And what is this and what are these features? So specifically what we're talking about is the ones you see kind of in red have been invalidated for one reason or another. And the one in black is using a close feature. So when we look at a 4473, and I'll just open this menu here because it's easily visible. We have the invalidate and we have the close option. They both essentially do kind of the same thing, which just a little bit different, just a little bit visually a little bit differently. Invalidate is the all red ones, and the close is going to be the black version. Now, there are some system things that will cause an automatic invalidation of a 4473. These could be things like customer answering disqualifier questions wrong, filling out the 4473 and stuff like that. There's some settings to auto invalidate a 4473 if 30 days have passed since the initiation of a background check. So there's things like that. So a lot of times the big question is why are they in these statuses? And real easy, the best way to find out is to go to this little 3-dot menu box, click on that for the particular 4473 you want to look at, and go down to Show Record Summary. And right at the top, it's going to give you that status, and it's going to give you right below that the reason. So, like in this case, question 21A was answered no. So 21A was answered incorrectly, indicating that the buyer of this firearm has self-identified as a prohibited person. So now you know why. So now it's up to the dealer, depending on what you get, the gun sellers, what their internal business practices are and policies are dealing with that, can address that. Now, invalidating can be done by yourself. You can choose to invalidate it. So like this record here, if we show the record summary, so linked sale was deleted. So in this case, they had a sale, they created a 4473, and keep in mind, this is all in a test environment in this particular store, but this would be the scenario. For some reason, they deleted the sale, so they didn't need the 4473. So they just invalidated it to show that record. So how do we invalidate, or how do we close 4473? In this particular one here, that does have the closed status, same thing. If we show record summary, it shows closed. And in this one, we were just testing some stuff. But how do we close invalidate or close a 4473? And when should we use the different features? So to invalidate, again, within the record you want to invalidate, click the 3-dot menu, go to invalidate. It'll ask for a reason. You can type in whatever it is, created an error test, transaction canceled, whatever the reason. And this reason you type in here is going to populate in that record summary that you can look up, and then you can press OK. And that will then invalidate and turn that red. So when would I use the invalidated function? So this would be to show that this 4473 was not used for a transaction. And I would say up to the point of a background check. So a real quick visual, I would look at this based just on a recommended coming from the FFO world. That would give me a real quick visual of going, this was a 4470 that was generated for some reason that ended up not getting processed, and we did not run a background check on it. And then that's where I would come to on the closed one. So just like with invalidating, to close a 4473, same thing. You select the option. It's going to ask for a reason. You click the OK, and it'll close that out. It'll turn that status into NA. That screen you saw it jump into there, it was asking for if you want to put additional notes in the box 32 comment section. That's very beneficial in this case, because kind of the fine line I see where I'm going to use this close function is I have run a background check. We have submitted a background check, and then for some reason afterwards, customer backed out. We didn't use that 4473 for a final transfer. So I'm going to close it. I'm going to document that stuff in box 32. I'm going to document it for the reason. And that gives me, again, a real quick reference of, we have to retain these records as part of regulations. So this gives me a real quick visual reference of, hey, this was generated, it was started, but it wasn't finished. It also kind of gives me a good indicator too. Again, if you've submitted a background check and customer walked away from that transaction, we still got to track the progress of that background check and record that result. Because if it comes out as a denied, we still gotta mark that 4473 up that it was a denial, and then update your records in the store to track that denial as well too. But again, invalidating versus closing, what those functions are, how we use them, and the scenarios I kind of recommend to use them in. That's kind of where we're at with that. Hopefully that all makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I like the colors. Even though I'm colorblind, I can obviously tell the difference in those colors. And people can go in and immediately know what they're looking at, especially if they're not colorblind, right?
Correct. And we do have options within this book itself too. If you want to, if you're searching for records, that you can hide those records as well too, to kind of
filter
help
them,
just make that view a little better. Yeah, help make that view, clean up that view a little bit if you need to as well too.
Okay. So, man, that was a quick one, Tony.
Oh yeah.
I wasted a third of our time talking about the Earth ending and the last season of Planet Earth, and then you actually gave the people something that they needed. So this was, I guess this is the wrap up to episode 8. But
Yep.
What did almost forget? Gotta have some closing words from Tony.
Oh, some closing words for Tony. Oh,
From
let's
Tony,
see.
not for Tony. For
For
Tony would
Tony.
be see you tomorrow, dude.
Yeah, yeah. See you tomorrow. Yeah, that way we would go. And remember, okay. So, for those of us who've had children, or those of you who've had children out there, remember a baby's laughter can be one of the most beautiful sounds you will ever hear. But unless you're one of like us that don't, and it's 3 a.m. and you don't have kids, then it's not so much.
Yeah. If you hear that, if you hear a kid laughing at my house at 3 a.m., somebody's getting shot. My
Right?
gosh. What the heck? I like that. I saw that somewhere. That's a good one. No, really,
Yeah.
that was a good one, Tony. Hey, so again, thank you guys for joining us. If you want to, obviously, if you want Tony to cover something specific, put it in the comments below. Make sure you like our videos. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps us out a little bit. At least, you know, people know that there's a resource out there that helps them, even if they're not using, you know, our solutions, which they should be. But if they're not, there's still some good knowledge that Tony's putting out here in regards to compliance. And we really think it could help people. So just throw a like out there, or just if you don't like it, just hit that the down thumbs down, hit that twice. If you hit that twice, it knows that, you know, they know that you really don't like it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The super secret unlike. Yeah.
yeah, it's the super secret unlike. Hit it twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We do appreciate your time and we don't want to waste it, even though they do let me get on here and talk.
Right.
They think that I do bring something to the table, and I think it's just comedic relief, which helps Tony through these stressful times. So
Right.
we'll see you in episode 9.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Welcome to the Compliance Corner, where we stay informed and true, navigating the rules together to keep our freedom shining through.